Good afternoon, this is Kuro. Got a quick game, or it's not a game, quick, I guess a tutorial going over um, ship grinding. The question in particular here is Mitsuki, um, but gonna talk a bit about, grinding captains and things like that. So we're gonna try to start this out systematically. This is take 3. The dinosaurs it's all sorts of chaos, and I'm trying to record this during the day, and that's not always ideal. So, going over the grind for Mutsuki, you basically have a upgraded gun, upgraded hull, upgraded gunfire control system. Um, Obviously, the most important is the hull. You need to grind the hull to move to Fubuki, and in my opinion, it's completely, viable to just grind the hull, go straight through to Fubuki. You don't. Both of these guns, it's, you know, there and is what it is kind of thing. Uh, with the guns, I believe you lose a bunch of AA, but at least, well, gonna go ahead and do it. Because I believe this is... Oh no, you still only are 2 turrets. Okay, previously, maybe you need the A-hole. It's been a while since I ground this ship, and since they adjusted it, it's, yeah, still only 2 times 1, so the guns, they're not 100% perfect. Um, but the upgraded gun is definitely better than what they give you here. It used to be that you would actually have 4 guns here as opposed to just 2 here, so you could actually make some plays with, the alpha on the 4 guns and then just disengage in. But it looks like they've done away with that when they moved this ship to tier 5. So, uh, grind wise, uh, personally, I would still be pretty prone to just move straight through into Fubuki after getting the B hull. If I wanted to use this ship for ranked or something like that, I would come out and grab the upgraded gun. However, the upgraded gunfire control system, I would not really run that, and the reason being is, if you know anything about the gun bloom mechanics, when you're shooting, your detection radius becomes the maximum range on your gun. So I've found that you can make some plays that you otherwise couldn't with a smaller gun bloom footprint. In this case, the stock guns only have a range of 8.1 kilometers. The upgraded, is 0.8 kilometers more at 8.9 kilometers. You know, honestly, it's not too big a difference here. Uh, but that also stacks with when you're doing the grind. You don't really need this. If you're shooting at any destroyers, things like that, trying to disengage, I would rather only have to disengage to 8.1 kilometer rather than 8.9 kilometers. And this is something that I use across the board on a lot of different destroyers. For example, the U.S. destroyers, where's my Mahan? Mahan, where are you? you'll see that I use it to basically reduce the range from 10.6 or down to 10.6 rather than 11.7. Uh, just the flight time, at 11.7, you're really not getting as much out of the guns at that distance, and the shorter gun bloom lets you work around islands and stuff like that where you're less likely to be detected if you're shooting at a destroyer that's just smoked up. You're able to put an island between you and his support, and you know as long as your gun bloom isn't covering the next cap over, you're probably going to be undetected because it's unlikely that a destroyer will be in a position to pick you up. Um, I also do this on torpedo reload boats like Kagero, simply because usually my intention with the Japanese destroyers isn't really to have a protracted gunfight. It's to hit an enemy destroyer 2, maybe 3 times, and then disengaging. And I find that this shorter gun bloom makes it so I don't actually even need smoke. I can just slot torpedo reload, and as long as I have support at my back where the enemy destroyer can't rush and chase me, uh, I'm able to, take the, offensive potential of torpedo reload and just use the standard gunfire control system to allow me to disengage. It's basically my safety check that, for example, it's really noticeable on Yagumo. You start getting some actual range out here. I'm actually still running a gun build on this captain with, well, this is the captain. Upgrade wise, I'm running reload rather than the usual torpedo tubes mod 3. I am running F3 torpedoes. But I'm using this system to basically disengage at 10.9 kilometers from an enemy destroyer, rather than with the upgraded it's 12 kilometers. So, this setup lets me disengage, full kilometer more. What's going on, baby? What do you want? Are you all done? Do you want a cupcake? Yeah, I knew that'd put a smile on your face. Let's get you a cupcake. Sorry, guys. Duty calls. Cupcake time. Is it a pink one? Do you like cupcakes? Yeah? Yeah, cupcake. Almost back to my computer, guys. Sorry about that, but this is take 3 of the video, and it takes a little bit of time for this video, so bear with me. Okay, number 2 is finally asleep, so I've actually got a chance. Alright, so I've talked about the reasonings for the gunfire control system. Now, if I was running smoke, I am far more likely to be running the upgraded gunfire control module on the higher tier Japanese destroyer, simply because you do have very usable gun arcs, and you can take advantage of that range to punish, for example, U.S. destroyers that are spotted by radar or something like that. So back to Mutsuki. Where'd you go, Mutsuki? There we are. So covered the grind, how I would approach the grind. The upgrades, this would be the upgrades that I would use for grinding it. Now, if it was, ranked battle or something like that, where Um, for example, we're having rank sprint coming up here, so I've been fitting out some of the tier 7 destroyers um, with basically all the fancy trimmings like engine boost mod 1 and things like that. Um, that if you're not aware, you can come over to the armory and you can purchase all of the upgrades that you would like and be good to go there. Um, so if we were having tier 5 ranked, and I would be looking at bringing Mutsuki, I would be swapping propulsion mod 1 for engine boost mod 1, and the simple reason is that it takes, you know, your um, your engine boost from a 2-minute runtime to 1 minute, or to 1 minute. It adds an additional minute for a total duration of 3 minutes per engine boost. So effectively, it lets you run engine boost. Without it, you've got 6 minutes of runtime on engine boost. With it, you have 9 minutes, and that lets you cover a lot more ground, uh, running, to back cap things, kiting out, just, using the extra power it gives your engine um, to dodge shots, um, dodge torpedoes. Um, there's a lot of, and another way is basically using this consumable to get you into better damage dealing positions. Like I allude to in the forum post, you want to be on the broadside of the ships that you're launching torpedoes into, because simply you're not likely to hit many torpedoes here when your torpedoes are running in this direction. From this direction, you're more likely to hit multiple torpedoes from this angle. So, um, you just look at the the aspect, how much ship that is exposed to your launching angle, and you get an idea right off the bat how effective that torpedo spread is likely to be, just based on your position when you launch your torpedoes. The most common complaints I see for guys that are complaining that um, they're not landing many torpedoes, it's because they're launching, angles like this, or especially like this, where the ship doesn't have to move very far to either completely dodge torpedoes, or you're only going to hit one. And it's, you know, getting guys in like this sort of angle in here is ideal. This is actually probably about the ideal angle right here. Slightly coming in, but mostly broadside, and your torpedoes coming in at this angle. Um, so when you're launching your torpedoes, you want to try to get this position where you've got a high probability of landing multiple torpedoes on the target, unless they're taking the correct last minute evasive action, which for a lot of ships that gets hard to do if they're trying to angle to your team's battleships or things like that, or other torpedoes. Um, Use your torpedoes to definitely create crossfire potential. In the forum post, I post my most recent gearing video, and it's a ranked battle where I'm basically using my Kurfürst that's on my team to force battleships to angle at my Kurfürst. And rather than going to cap, if I go to cap, I no longer have a good torpedo angle. I'm torping right at, their bows. I stay off to the side of the cap, and I just keep launching torpedoes, salvo after salvo, right into the broadside of these ships as they're coming in to try to shore up their flank. So a little bit about tactics there. This segue right into consumables. Um, the number one premium consumable you have to run is smoke. For those that aren't aware, you can really. Do I need to go back to? Okay, so you got smoke generator mod 1. Oh, apparently you can't even buy them for gold anymore. This was actually really unclear when I first started playing this game. I had probably 500 games already played before I realized that there was premium and non-premium consumables. The tutorials and stuff just weren't there, and you couldn't really tell that this was a clickable field. It looked like you had to spend real money for premium consumables, and at the time I just wasn't interested in doing that, and I'm still not interested in paying real money for premium consumables. But I do believe that the purchase price of 22,500 credits is worth it because you can work that back in damage relatively easy. In the case of the smokes, it can be, farming fire damage after torpedo hits, or just allowing yourself to live longer so you get more damage dealing opportunities over the course of the game. The engine boost would be my next selection for the premium consumable. I know that flies in the face of what certain people have said in the past. For example, Flamu, prefers the damage control. Personally, my thoughts on this is I would rather have the engine boost because you're number one, you're gaining an extra, so you're going from 4 minutes of speed boost time to 6 minutes, which again is going to give you more utility for mitigating damage, getting around the map, um, getting into better damage dealing positions where again you can earn back that 22,500 credits by speed boosting up to a good torpedo launch position, dumping your torpedoes and then getting out before anybody can really get a chance to detect you and cause issue for you. If credits really aren't that much of an issue for you, damage control party 2. The difference again is 60 seconds off the reload time. Wait a minute, that's still engine boost. You're all right. It's 20 seconds. I knew 60 seconds sounded ridiculously long. Are you done? No, you can't have another cupcake. I know you want to eat all the cupcakes, but you can't have all of them. You had one. Yeah, I know. Unhappy days, only one cupcake. Whatever will you do? No one has ever suffered like you. Are you all done? Okay, well, you can sit there. It's okay. Missy, are you all done? Okay. This is what happens. This is what happens and why I don't stream. So many random interruptions. Hold on 1 second because this might get noisy.
Mic off. Mic on.
Come on, let's go play. Let's go play. There we go. Hey, Munchkin. Yeah, there you go. Only kid I know. You hand them a tablet and they cry. Hey, what's going on? Are you tired? Well, come on. Come on in. Do you want to hang out with Daddy? Do you want to hang out with Daddy and help with this video? Yeah, come here. Come here. There we go. Daddy's got you. Alright, sorry about that, guys. We were talking about consumables, specifically damage control. The issue with the damage control, not really an issue, it's just smart use of damage control. Holding your repair until you're disengaged. Don't just repair. Where are you going? Where you're not just immediately repairing engines and rudders and things like that, unless you need to avoid, for example, torpedoes or basically catastrophic damage to your ship. You can just hold on to this and be able to basically save your repair for repairing torpedo tubes or repairing a fire once you've actually disengaged from, you know, whatever sort of situation you found yourself in. You know, and you at that point you would just you would usually let your engine or rudder just repair itself naturally. So that's why I would say that if you're really crunched for credits, I would pick Smoke Gen Mod 2 or the Premium Smoke, Premium Engine Boost, followed by Damage Control. But again, it's up to you. Maybe you don't get as much out of the engine boost as I do, and you would prefer, you know, something different. So it's, you know, personal preference here. Just explaining briefly how I select my consumables. Obviously, I've got the credits, so I just run premium everything, and just try to make that back in the game by inflicting more damage, by living longer, getting more damage dealing opportunities in, and I find that to be pretty successful. I don't, you know, it's pretty rare for me to have a game where I actually lose credits even at tier 10. So we've talked about the grind, we've talked about upgrades, we've talked about consumables. We'll head over to captains, and the situation with captains is basically your number one hurdle for the Japanese torpedo boats. This guy right here. You need to have 10-point captains. Without a 10-point captain, your number one asset, your concealment, means that you're basically on par with most other destroyers. I think Matsuki, without it, is somewhere around 6-kilometer concealment, and that means that things like if you run into an Acosta that has concealment expert, you're going to be in for a bad time. Acosta's just going to crap all over you. You know, T-22, same thing. I think that's 5.7. Nicholas, 5.8 kilometer concealment. So getting a 10-point captain should be your number one priority if you're grinding the Japanese torpedo boats. Hopping over here, how I ground the captains is the old-fashioned way. I basically took one captain from Umikaze all the way up to Shimikaze, and, you know, tried to and just kept working on him until he was a 19-point captain. And then at a 19-point captain, I left him, well, I kept a 19-point captain on my Shimikaze simply because I play the ship a lot. I mean, almost 7.5 million XP. Um, I've got a lot of miles out of, the premium camo, the stuff that I have bought for the ship. I actually generally grind credits and XP off my tier 10 destroyers. That's just how I have them set up with the premium camos, signal flags, all of this stuff. Um, so, um, don't want to talk about signal flags yet, but this is why 19-point captains are so important. Basically, I haven't played a battle today, so I can't pull up statistics. Um, but in your end plates, um, each battle you will get a certain amount of commander XP. Now, if your captain is a 19-point captain on that ship, that amount just totally gets awarded to elite commander XP, which you can use on any captain on any ship or captains in reserve. It's like a version of free XP for captains. And as you can see with zero, I am very aggressive about leveling captains. It's the reason why I have things like uh, actually I do have a 19-point captain for my Hot Saharu, but I also have a 17-point captain for the Hot Saharu. Uh, it's reasons why I've got things like that. Uh, so the easiest way to level a captain is to come over here, uh, pull up your captain for the ship, hit the plus icon, and level it however high you want. Obviously, you need to have the resources in either Elite Commander XP or free XP to do that. I will say that for me, it's worth it to spend free XP to get Concealment Expert. If I'm a point or two off, uh, I have the free XP, I'm probably spending the free XP because uh, the juice is worth the squeeze, in my opinion. It's going to make your performance that much better, and it'll pay dividends down the road in your performance, uh, where you can actually begin to contest caps, where you can start playing, as a screen right in front of your allied ships, 4 or 5 kilometers in front of your friendlies. Let enemy destroyers bump into you and your team just shoots them up. You don't even really have to do that much. It opens up so many different playing opportunities for something like like a Mitsuki, which at 5.4 kilometer concealment, I mean, you could even put this boat in tier 10 and you could still be useful just based off your concealment. You just play it, right in front of teammates, screen out enemy destroyers, block them from coming into caps, just the general basics, and you can be pretty successful. Um, yes, the 8 kilometer torpedoes. I mean, you look 8 kilometer torpedoes. I mean, I'm running F3s at in tier 10 on uh, Yagumo, and I do it periodically on my Shema. Um, it's still doable. Um, so talked a bit about the captains, the easy way to level them. The harder way is found under your exterior tab. We'll start with camos, and what you want to do is you want to try to maximize the time spent, your rewards per basically your XP per hour when you're grinding commander experience. So, for example, if I'm grinding a captain, you know, we, well, let's say I'm grinding a line. Uh, if I'm grinding like ships or modules or something like that, something like this mosaic camo would be a pretty good choice because it's got a 400% multiplier on the experience that you earned over the course of the battle. You earn 1,000 XP. Uh, with this camo, you got 4,000 XP just with the camo. Further, you can, you know, multiply that using your signal flags. These, 50% just total XP per battle, additional 50% commander XP per battle, uh, and 300% to your free XP per battle. Then you've got the special flags. Honestly, I only really use these for like the special free XP, the dragon flags, uh, and the Hydra flags. I only really use those in clan battles because 2,500 base XP per win, regardless of your performance, you can just rack in a ton of experience per hour if you guys are on a winning streak. So what I've got like a cycle that if I am in um, if I'm in clan battles, I am using all of my flags, all of my really good camos to try to maximize the amount of XP that I'm bringing into my account. I'm running things like the military bearing flags or camos, restless fire, uh, so on and so forth. Um, when I'm not in that uh, in clan battles, I'm basically in an accumulation phase where I'm doing things to try to build these stockpiles back up. And as you can see, I burnt, I believe, actually all of them out. It took me a couple seasons of clan battles to burn off what I had built up, but it also gave me 4 new 19-point captains. So right now I'm restocking. Um, but this is how I run my account in kind of a cyclical pattern, and it works for me. Um, but if you're not taking part of clan battles or anything like that, just maximizing what you get out of every game. Running your XP flags with good camos, and you can drastically shorten down the amount of time that it takes for you to get a captain to 10 points. I mean, you know, your 13th point it's only 108,000 XP. So, you know, some of these games that you know, generally just a decent camo, plus just the basic signal flags, you're generally talking about 5k XP or more just for the average sort of game. Um, you know, that's not bad. That's a lot better than it was when I was grinding this stuff starting out. Um, so make sure you're taking advantage of this. Don't just particularly don't just let the economic stuff stack up. The other thing, um, with signals available for credits, it's not nearly as critical as it was in the past to, keep these things stocked up. I used to have an ungodly amount of signal flags because I would refuse to even run detonation flags in random battles. I saved everything for competitive play just to make sure I had enough for ranked clan battles, yada yada. So now that they're available for credits, go nuts. I mean, just the two fire flags in particular, that's a huge potential boost to the amount of fire damage that you can do over the course of the game, and that can really help you out. The speed flag can get you in and out of situations uh, where, again, you can either deal damage or you can escape damage, uh, let you live longer, all sorts of things like that. So use everything here is a tool, and you need to be using it if you want to maximize your earning potential. Uh, just realized I've got the incorrect flags here, so excuse me while I fix my stuff. I'm not OCD, I swear. Um, let's see. So that takes us over the captains, different ways to grind it. It takes us through the tech tree. We've talked about uh, the importance of getting 19-point captains on ships you're going to play frequently, the benefits that brings to your account. We've talked about modules, consumables, everything under the modules tab. I guess last but not least would be um, joining a clan. Um, for example, just showing you a quick look at what clans can bring you. I mean, just Cuter right now, 10% off all service. That's basically the equivalent of running the service flag um, right on your ship. So right here, just what we've got, a signal flag that you could save, or even save even more money um, by um, basically, this could either free up that flag if you're playing a tier 10 and wanting to reduce some of the cost, um, you know, or you can double the flag up and reduce your service costs by 20%. Uh, you can lower the researchable cost of all ships. Um, Additional XP per game. I think this goes up to 5%. So right here, this is an extra 5% on XP on every battle. Um, Up to theoretically an additional 25% free XP. Uh, I'm a little out of this because I don't look at this stuff all that often. Obviously, the more popular ones, coal and steel, uh, the academy. Uh, you know, we've got the full 10% commander XP per battle. Again, this is just merely by joining a clan, and there's a ton of clans out there that over the course of you know a week, a month, or something, it all really starts to add up and build or multiply on top of each other. Once you start getting the 19-point captains, things just start moving more and more rapidly in your grinds for other ships. To put it this way, most days where I'm playing, I find that when my final procedure is when I go to before I close the game, I go over to my containers. Uh, Generally, I select the signal flag containers because I want to keep the signal flag stocked up. Um, I'm burning a lot of them for ranked right now, but if I wasn't, I could be choosing more resource or whatever. I don't like to gamble with the try your lucks. That's just I'd rather have something tangible coming in consistently than a maybe that might be coming in more often. Um, that's just my perspective when I'm selecting containers, stuff like that. I want to make sure I bring guaranteed stuff into my account every day. Uh, your missions, stuff like that. Um, I don't know if I can actually show you like personal assignments or stuff there, but you know, making sure you're doing your events. Um, there's all sorts of rewards that pop up that you do this stuff and like these daily emissions. I mean, it's nice. It's just a nice perk to have over um, every day. You know, for example, you complete this mission. That's 6 fire flags right off the bat, plus 200 coal. That's not bad for all you're doing is just playing. Uh, so take advantage of everything that the game's offering. Take a minute and look around and see, what it is you need to, or what's available, you know, and apparently we've got the geese army marching by. There's lots of little tiny geese running around here right now. It's cute as hell. Uh, so, I think I have covered everything as far as the economic and the general logistics of these of the game. If I missed anything, or if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. I know I rambled a little bit. This is like take 3 or 4, just with dinosaur things interrupting things. So I'm just kind of trying to get this video out because somebody is waiting on it right now. So I hope you guys are having a good day. Again, let me know if I missed anything, and I will elaborate on it in the comments. And I will talk to you later.